What is up, folks? Welcome back. Yep, it's another live stream repair. We got a bunch of HomePods. We got some catching up to do. We've been goofing off a bit. Really just trying to get one of my cars fixed and working again here. Getting a little annoying having to take my wife's car from her everywhere. But we're getting there. Only a matter of time. Anyways, we've got a bunch of HomePods here to fix up. Let's get ourselves situated here. See what we've got waiting for us. Number one up for today is number 3529. That's going to be an anonymous repair for this first gen HomePod. They're gonna have issues with it either booting up or boot looping or not setting up here. So we'll give it a few more seconds while we put everyone else's name down on the screen here. We're gonna look at Ramona next. They've got DC filters that have gone bad, most likely. And then we've got, let's see, Marcus. Marcus has the same issue as Ramona. Bad DC filters, most likely. And then we're going to knock out the maintenance on Denman's HomePod. And then we've got a Mark with no power. And then number 3527. DC filters. And then Nick with no power. I've got 4 more, but they said they weren't in a rush, so if we can get to those today, that'll be cool and great. If not, whatever. In any case, it looks like number 3529 has started blinking here. So let's message the first few repairs here. Let them know that they're up so they can watch. And we'll get started. First one up is going to be 3529. There we go. We texted them, so I'll find their info here. Alright, and then we need to find Ramona and let them know they're up next. Very cool. The first few folks have been messaged. We'll message more folks as we get closer to theirs. Alright, so we've got the blinkies going on number 3529 here. That can be caused by a few things. Basically, it could be a software issue or it could be a hardware issue. And there's no great way to tell without attempting a software restore. So that's what we're going to try here. If it's a hardware issue, then at least the software restore should give us a pretty decent error telling us what's wrong. Let's see, where did I put their base? Here it is. Alright, we'll be coming back to Denman there since they have been testing fine overnight. They didn't have any issues. So it is worthy of some hardware maintenance once we get to it. But first, let's see here. We'll get up close. We will plug our USB adapter in. We'll plug our power into the HomePod, and we will run our commands gastropone. That puts it in a state that allows us to push our firmware. And iDevice Restore, that's the tool that actually does all the magic here. So, this should only take a minute or so to let us know if it's a hardware issue or if it's going to take another 10-20 minutes to fix the software issue. Once we get a restore progress bar, then we'll know. And if we do get a restore progress bar in just a minute or so here, then we will scoot this over to the side and grab Ramona's HomePod and work on that while we wait for this to... Oh, there it is. There it is. This one is unfortunately a hardware issue waiting for NAND. So this one's going to need a replacement logic board, because I frankly do not have the patience to mess with reballing another NAND today. And we've got a bit too much to work on here to be spending 30-40 minutes on trying to fix this logic board when we've got a few other working ones that we can use for this. Let's grab one really quick. Let's see here. I believe that this guy doesn't turn on. This one's one of my parts pods. Yep, there we go. It doesn't light up, doesn't turn on or anything. So most likely there is an issue on the amplifier in this HomePod, but that means that the logic board will be perfectly good for us to use. Alright, that's annoying. Someone's already tried opening this. Oh, if I had known someone had already tried opening this, I wouldn't have almost cut my hand open. Using so much force trying to get this top off. If they've never been opened before, it takes quite a bit of effort, but once you've opened it, it is a bit easier. Raj, what is up? Welcome back. Alright. Yeah, that was unfortunately not me. I saw that as soon as I put it on my desk. Someone else had tried opening this and made what was a perfectly good top D-grade stuff now. So that sucks, but that's what I get for paying the cheapest dollar for parts pods. Let's get that logic board yeah, I mean, at least, you know, it is really dirty, but we'll be able to clean that mesh up and use it on someone else's HomePod and make them happy. here is our precious logic board. We can stick this to the side. And let's get this thing working again. So it's gonna need, well, it needs work done to the logic board, but the work that it needs done to the logic board will take as long as any other repair will by itself, and we still have to do the hardware maintenance after that. So we're gonna get this apart all the way so that we can get to the amplifier, which is where most of the common issues for these things are. And we'll do our signature maintenance. We'll give it some new DC filters to prevent death farts and all sorts of bass issues. We'll see if it needs a new Schottky diode, since there's a certain batch of them floating around that cause no power. And we'll see if anything else stinks before we seal it up with a new subwoofer gasket, since the old foam ones can deteriorate. That is a lot better. And they are a bit forgiving. You can scratch the sides of these a little bit without it showing up on the other side. But once you've, once you've gotten so bad, then see that? Jeez. Alright, so we have a NAND issue with this one. I'll put this board to the side, and when we have the time we will attempt to actually fix that board, but until then we've got a good replacement that we can use for them. Save ourselves some of the time, save them some of the risk if the repair for the board doesn't go well, because it is a fairly intense, fairly complicated repair. Subwoofer checks out. Subwoofer gasket. We'll replace that. We always do, I just tend to not show it because it's pretty boring. I mean, we just stick this down before we screw the subwoofer into place. There's not much to show there. That's probably the most common question I get from people after the repair is done is like, did you replace the subwoofer gasket? And it's like, well, yeah, did you watch the repair? But at the same time, I can't really blame them because you can barely tell the difference between the original and the replacement rubber on camera. And I don't really mention it much. People that have been watching our stream for at least the past year now, they're like, well, you mention it every single time. Get out of here. I do. Oh, I was wondering why my lighting felt a little weird. There we go. Yes. Okay. Everything looks good. We even have a 42K dated Schottky diode, so we don't need to worry about that causing power issues. Let me fix this camera. Everything's broken all the time, huh? There we go, that's a lot better. Alright, let's get this some new filters since these go bad often enough, be it quality control issues or naturally due to age, as all ceramic capacitors will do over time. One less reason for this to come back to us anytime soon. Very nice. What a stunning example. Oh gosh, you can't see it. Ah, hot. What a stunning example right there. Look at that. Freaking beautiful. Even spacing, nothing too close to anything. That's it. Let's get this put back together with a new gasket and a working logic board, and it should spring right to life. Alexandru, welcome back. Oh gosh, there are a lot of people that have asked me about HomePod 2 issues. It's all a blur. Huh, now your mini's got the ghost touch? Man. Guess you're gonna have to yank it apart and disconnect that touch panel if you want to keep using it. Yeah, it's still kind of tricky. You can break stuff if you're not careful, but it's certainly doable. You just need to take it apart enough to reach that touch panel connector and disconnect it from the board. You don't even have to take it apart all the way. New gasket. Yeah, the display still lights up. The display is part of the main logic board in the Mini and the second gen. The touch panel is its own display, or the touch panel is its own board all by itself, and unplugging the touch doesn't affect anything but the touch function itself. Only the first gen actually has the touch board and the display built into one assembly like this, with one cable going to the logic board. Second gen and minis, they're all separate boards. Kind of weird. Nope, haven't had any first gens with ghost touch issues. There's someone that repairs them in India that has come across one, but it was a totally, it was quite different. And it ended up being a power supply issue. It's going to be totally unrelated, and you wouldn't see it on you probably won't ever see it on any first gen. The second gens and the minis are it's pretty common for them to end up with phantom touch issues. Now, it's not simply because they're separate now that the issues happen. It's simply an issue with the touch panel itself. You know, like the digitizer on your phone. You can't just fix it. You have to replace the whole digitizer, right? And there we go. I have no reason to believe this would not boot up for us here and at least let us check the sound output. Let's grab Ramona. They're up next here.
I'm having trouble.
Awesome. We'll get that reset. Make sure it updates. Doesn't give us any other issues testing overnight, but that is fixed. Here we have Ramona now. That sounds like it's got some pretty bad filters there. I'm gonna give it one more shot while we get their name up on the screen. Let's let Marcus know they're up next while we are 3542. Why does iMessage not show the most recent people that I've been texting? That's really annoying. I have to manually type in everybody's number every time, instead of just going to my recent messages and finding the message from someone that I talked to an hour ago. Instead it wants to show me all of these messages from spam texts and less important messages from automated things. Whatever. I found Marcus. End of my rant.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Alright, so we've got no bass at all with a bit of a pop. That's a bit worrying. I would assume that this one actually, the DC filters have not only gone bad, but they have gone bad enough to kill their subwoofer speakers, so we'll probably need to snag another one of those. Let me see, I think I've got one. Yes, I do. Alright, I'm just going to put that there because I'm fully expecting to need it. Cover your ears. Alright, you're good. Shuffle hands. What is up? Welcome back. Alright, what's that woofer doing? Oh. The woofer's actually fine. I guess I'll put this one back. Save that for someone else. Okay, camera. I know it's hard to focus on this, but there we go. I do see some blown up bits on the amp. I wonder if the amp chip itself is dead. Mr. Hollow. What is up? Welcome. The pod that we are working on is at the top left of the screen there. I'm not sure what your name is or what your number would have been. Get out of there! Yeah. Miniware ES15 electric screwdriver for the win. Marcus! Oh, Marcus, you're up next. What was yours? Yeah, you got some bad filters. Hopefully it's not this bad. Not sponsored, but I'll take one. Give me money. Okay. So, kind of interesting. I don't see any... Well, we've got a blown 10 ohm resistor right there, but that's all I can see. Everything else looks surprisingly good. Well, I suppose we'll do some maintenance to this. We'll replace these filters. These are what went bad and caused that resistor over on the other side to blow up. We'll see if some new filters and a new resistor will get this working again. What do you mean, how exciting can a workout be? What do you mean, not very? I don't know about you, but I love going for a run. I love running. I kind of hate it, but I love it too. I don't know. It's very satisfying. Won't catch you running. Okay. Some new filters. Let's get that, well, what's left of that 10 ohm resistor out of here. Alright. Last but not least, we do have a 46K data diode on here. These fail and cause no power quite often. And normally I would just throw this back together and test it. But I'm not too sure about this one. I don't frankly really know exactly if that was all that was wrong, if that was what, and if that was it. So we're going to put some test parts on here to see if we can't confirm it's fixed before we do a little extra maintenance and put it back together. So this ribbon cable lets us connect a logic board and display. We'll get a power supply put on here. We'll plug in my test woofer off to the side over there. And this is never going to be an issue. Bass issues with the rest of the sound still working is never going to be a logic board issue. So we'll use their logic board and display for this too. Get it booted up. And we've got a connector here that lets us plug in a power cord. So let's boot this up and see what it tells us. I'm gonna give it like a 50-50 chance that that fixes it. Well, we still have a loud pop. Absolutely no difference in behavior. No difference whatsoever. So that tells me, unfortunately, this has got some serious issues going on with it. Not something that we're going to have the time to spend hours on and fix here and now. I really wish I could, but we've got too much to fix and not enough time. What we do have are plenty more amplifier boards that we can use for this. Let's see, which one shall I sacrifice today? Let's go with this one. And let's confirm what issue it has, if any. So this one is no power. That's a pretty standard issue. We know how to fix that pretty well here. Let's get that amplifier out so we can use it. Man, this is a rough start to the stream, I tell you. I hate it. Oh, first two pods are not straightforward fixes, but that's okay. They can't all be one-shot kills. Yep, that's why I don't use it on those. Okay. We've got an amp worthy of refurbishing and getting Ramona a working HomePod again. Let's repeat basically the same thing here. Give it some new filters so that they don't go bad again and cause the same problem. And then we'll see if it needs anything else like a new Schottky diode for no power issues before we get it back together. We can color HomePods any color that RIP makes dimorph or synthetic dye. But that's I have a link to it on the website with all the info about that, of course. lots of colors that they've got, and then we can come up with some more if we mix them together, but usually you're just going to end up with whatever the bottle has on it. Those are just what I've kept for myself. There it is, a 48K dated Schottky diode causing this board in particular is no power issue. I think I'm still on like 18.2, the one with the mobile gestalt bug that lets you enable Apple Intelligence, and I'm probably never going to update it. I'll probably keep my 14 Pro Max on that beta until I upgrade the phone. The release candidate tends to come out a week or two before public release. So we'll probably see public release next week for 18.4. It is Marcus's turn. Let's get that booted up. Let's let Denman know that they're coming up again next year. Yet again, another person I texted in only a matter of hours ago, and it's not showing in my recent messages. So annoying. Why can't iMessage simply show me every message I've gotten in chronological order? Why does it have to assume that I only want to see certain messages? Absolutely killer. It is driving me insane. Okay. I need to lower my blood pressure.
I'm having trouble connecting to it. I'm having trouble connecting.
We've got base back on Ramona there.
I'm having trouble
Ooh, that's nasty. Okay. That is some significant poppage. That sounds like those fancy 4 filters went bad. Hopefully it hasn't roasted the subwoofer. Let's get it apart and see what we've got in there. Cover your ears. That woofer seam. That woofer seems just fine, no problems there. Another reason why I just want to live in the middle of nowhere, man. Alright. Let's get those filters out of here first, and then we'll sniff around the board for anything else. What is going on? Do I need a new soldering iron tip already? That can't be possible. Very nice. We've got a 26K dated Schottky diode. Those don't fail and cause power issues. However, we've got a very blown 10 ohm resistor here. Pretty common casualty for when those filters go bad. Alright. We'll get this back together along with a new subwoofer gasket. That should make this work better for much longer. Ooh, you want to get it colored purple? Absolutely. I will put you down for that and confirm that with you after our stream here. Should have time to knock that out tomorrow, and then we'll send it out on the weekend for you. But I'll give you the timelines, because it does take an extra day to color them up. But if you want it back sooner than later, we'll just do the fix. If you want to wait another day, we can color that for you and get that out to you. These are actually the same purple. That was simply just more time. Oh, I run Rockbox on my 5th Gen Classic. I love it. Pretty easy to do. Only takes a few minutes. Try it out. Actually, that's about as far together as we want to put this. If we're going to be taking this mesh back off to color it up nice and purple. But we can make sure that it's all working, fixed up. I love when people ask me if I've gotten something yet, and they send me the tracking number. And it's like, okay, I will look up the tracking number for you then, I guess. Right? Is that what they want me to do? Is track it for them because they don't want to do it themselves? Or I'm in a mood today, sorry folks. And my phone being a piece of crap is not helping. And of course I can't track that tracking number. It's not a valid tracking number. So that's probably why they're asking me, because they gave me the wrong tracking number. Like, actually, like, it is actually slightly annoying when people ask me where their stuff is, and it's like in the same email they have the tracking number that they can literally just look it up themselves. And it even says that the estimated delivery date is on time and not yet. And they're like, where is it? Ah!
I'm having trouble connecting.
Beautiful. Excellent. That is fixed. I gotta help my wife bring stuff in. We will be right back. All right, we are back, folks. We are back with Denman's pod here. That's right, that's right. Oh my goodness. Is Denman with us here? Let me double check. I don't know if they're here with us. Well, okay, so Denman here. We succeeded with a software restore on yesterday's stream. I apologize if I didn't shoot you a link to that yesterday. I thought I did, Mr. Denman. But in any case, they succeeded with the software restore. They opted for the extra hardware maintenance, so it has been testing fine overnight. So it is worthy of some maintenance. Here we go. Oh yeah, after Denman, we've got Mark, 3543. We'll let them know they're up next year. I hate computers. I miss when everything was hardware interrupt. You told something to do something and it just did it. And there wasn't all this predictive guessing freaking I know what you want better than you do behaviors. With all these modern machines. Oh man, I'm getting old. I'm yelling at the sky again. We can do a collab when, maybe when you're not quite so young. It might be a little weird since I'm like twice your age and you're not even a legal adult yet. But there are some ideas. I have ideas. I mean, you could come over here and I could show you around our thrift stores and re-PC. Your mind will be absolutely blown by the crap that we have at our thrift stores. Not to mention the, like, e-waste recycling centers that you can go to, and it's just a plethora of old electronics. Oh, a collab with Dank Pods. Sorry, I can only catch a bit of the chat at a time. I don't think a collab with Dank Pods will ever happen. At best, I'll make a HomePod to send to them, but y'all know that we're like on opposite ends of the world, right? We could do some kind of collab, like I don't know. I don't actually know. Aside from me making him a HomePod. I would love to visit Australia. Of course, another 8 packages showed up at my UPS mailbox 3 hours late. They're supposed to be delivering stuff before noon, so that way I don't have to wait until the end of the day and try to get there before they close. This has been a day. I'm done with it already. And you know, unfortunately, every single person whose HomePod just showed up a few minutes ago at the UPS store, I don't even know whose they are because the UPS store doesn't tell me. They say you had 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 packages show up. Come pick them up before we start bugging you. And it's like, I was just there an hour ago. Today's stream should have been titled Nick Complains and Rants About Everything. I trust what the United States Postal Service tells. I trust the Postal Service. That's a service for the United States people over the for-profit business such as UPS, if that's what you're asking. USPS is going to be a far more trustworthy service just by principle because it's not a for-profit business. It's there as a service for Americans. And UPS, on the other hand, they're a for-profit company. So, two totally different, two fundamental different operating principles between the two companies. And in my head, the one that's there not to make money is going to be the one more trustworthy than the one that's there to make a profit. But that said, to each their own, everybody's going to have their own personal experience where they live, whether UPS or USPS or I think we can all agree FedEx sucks. There's always a debate over is UPS or USPS better. Nobody's talking about FedEx. Everybody hates FedEx. For me, UPS is the problem. FedEx is the worst, and then UPS is second worst, and USPS is the best, actually. They have been the most reliable. UPS, anytime I've lost a customer's HomePod, it's been UPS's fault. Anytime I'm having something delivered to my house, like my family sends us anything, it gets delayed by a week or two because it gets delivered to the house down the street and I have to wait for the neighbor to get home from wherever in the world they are to bring it to me. For whatever reason, UPS just cannot. Gosh. I have no complaints with the UPS store that I go to, that I have my mailbox at. Those guys are great. But okay, so UPS and USPS are better than FedEx. FedEx has a problem where I can buy something from 20, 30 miles down the street. A local business. I could buy something from them, and they'll ship it to me with FedEx. And instead of FedEx going, oh, you're right down the street? Okay. We'll just take it right down the street. Worst case, it goes to the local sorting center or distribution center, and they stick it on another truck for quick and easy, efficient delivery. Nope. Every single package that you send with FedEx has to go through the Memphis hub. And that is why FedEx sucks so much. I tweeted it once. I said, FedEx couldn't deliver dog crap from my front door to my trash can without sending it all the way to Memphis and back first. And it's like something that could be delivered the same day or next day. Really cheap and quick and easy. Ends up having to get flown from Seattle to Tennessee, which takes a day or two. And then it has to get sorted in Tennessee, which takes a day or two. And then it has to fly back to Portland, where it gets sorted and takes another few days. And then it finally makes its way back to me. So yeah, that's also why I never ship with FedEx. That and Pirate Ship only gives you UPS or USPS. You can't get FedEx labels with Pirate Ship. Like, I can understand a package 30, like, being shipped to me from 30 miles away, having to go to a distribution center 100 miles away or so. Maybe even in the same state, it doesn't matter, you know? But why do they have to ship it all the way across the country? And then back. It's like, Portland is like, yeah, Portland is the freaking, if not even Portland, it's not Portland, it's Troutdale, Oregon. If you see your FedEx package scan in at the Troutdale, Oregon FedEx facility, good luck. No, rip the dream, Stefan. That would have been a great deal. Oh, that's just because I'm learning how to actually say your name correctly. Oh, what are we gonna have for dinner tonight? What is everyone else having for dinner? Inspire me. I may have had a really big lunch yesterday and then forgot to eat dinner and have not eaten anything since. Actually, that could explain a lot of my mood. It's weird. I don't even feel hungry. I'm just done with it, man. I'm done with today. I was done with today when I woke up. Alright. Denman is all maintained, all fixed, all ready to go. Another text message that is not showing up in my most recent text messages. This makes no sense. I'm going to write a strongly worded feedback letter to Apple. Okay, strongly worded letter has been sent to Apple. Number 3527 has been notified that their repair is up next. Mark is now up here. Mark with no power. Let's see what they've got here. Yep, no lights, no power, a couple of watts from the wall. That all looks to me like the usual dead diode. Let's get that fixed. Yes, of course, Denman. I'll follow up with you after our stream and after I've got a chance to eat something, so you can get your HomePod back. Unless you change your mind, of course. If you don't want to keep it, I'm happy to keep it. I'll put it to good use. Yeah, I bet, Denman. Not many people out there that still hang on to these things that wouldn't want to get it fixed and keep it. And at the same time, it's pretty wild. Like, these things were made in 2017. Around the iPhone, using iPhone 6 parts. How many of you out there are still using an iPhone 6 or something just as old as your primary phone? And yet, we're all out here using them as a smart speaker. It works pretty well, if you ask me. Apparently it works well enough that so many people still want to get them fixed. don't know why that had to fight so much. It wasn't going to win it. I don't know why. It has to fight. In the words of Northridge Fix, who wants to play games? We're the king of playing games. Alright, here we go. Let's get these concerning. Let's get these filters replaced. So it's not coming back to us for death farts or bass issues. My camera is saying that it is overheating, so we're running out of time. This might be the last one we work on today. We'll see what we can get away with. I'm going to turn it off now to hopefully cool it off while we're up close, and then I'll turn it back on when we put this back together. Alright. Filter's done. Let's get our dead diode out of there. It's a 46K, of course. Replacing this with a new one will prevent the same thing from happening again, because these ones only fail due to a quality control issue with the diodes in particular. Alright. Let's see if we can get this together before the camera dies. No, I'm not sticking a fan on the camera because it's the fan I'm using to cool myself off. I need to get more fans. Man, but I wanted to make this room so quiet. It just gets too hot. And it's only 60 degrees outside. I'd have to like pipe in an air from an air conditioner from another room or something. Oh, you know, speaking of Apple Watch, the Series 5 was my first Apple Watch too. I got it for the ECG. We got an Apple Watch in for repair, and it's a Series 5. I thought it was a little strange that this person insisted on having their Series 5 screen replaced for how much I have to charge them to do it too, for such an old watch. But they insisted, they wanted me to fix this for sentimental reasons, and I was like, okay, I'm happy to do it for you. I'll get the screen ordered, and here's the label to send it in. And when it showed up, I immediately saw why they wanted to get it fixed. It is a beautiful, beautiful ceramic white edition. I have wanted one of these since they came out. And granted, it's not mine, but I finally have one in my hands to see it in person, and gosh golly, it's beautiful. I'm going to have to get one for myself. But of course, everyone wants too much for them, and everybody wants one, so. But yes, we have got a Series 5 that needs a new screen we'll be doing here as soon as that screen shows up. Should be in the next few days. But I wouldn't suggest, if you can make it work for as long as possible, I wouldn't try to replace the battery on your Apple Watch until like you have another reason to open it up, like the screen or the glass getting cracked. Because man, is it a risky endeavor, and you'll probably mess up your Force Touch. Missing a screw. Where are you? pick one from my pile. Oh, I found my other screw. No, Stefan. This'll be the last one. My camera's about to shut off again. And I'm about to shut off. And there's something jingling inside of my hot air gun. Oh. That's new. Stefan, you need to get some sleep. Don't you have school tomorrow? It's alive! Which means I can go eat. No. Okay, you know what? Fine. We'll do... We'll do number 3527. Oh. Not because you asked, Stefan, not because you told me, but because I already messaged them and told them that theirs was next, so.
I'm having trouble
I would hate to disappoint them and say, just kidding.
I'm having trouble
We'll get to it tomorrow. Okay, so 3527 here, no... Well, it's got power. Let's see here, yep. We've got them down for some DC filters here. And then tomorrow we'll start the stream with Nick's. It's reset. It's gonna play the setup tone, I think. Any second now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I assume it's factory reset, so it's just booting up its setup mode here. Mark, thank you for watching, and you'll hear from us soon after the stream on how to get your HomePod back here. Thanks for joining us. Did that just die? No, it didn't. It didn't die necessarily. It's factory reset, and some HomePods, for whatever reason, they restart and then show the setup mode instead of booting straight into setup mode. I have two. Oh, Vaughn, welcome. 2 HomePods. Can I put them carefully into the same box with your order? One of them is making popping and the other will not turn on. Absolutely. No problems shipping any number of HomePods in the same box. That is perfectly fine. As long as they're packed well and they're not banging into each other or getting crushed by the box, you'll be alright. And there we go. So we've got absolutely no bass for that poor pod. Let's get it fixed. Now, normally with no bass, we wouldn't know what's wrong with it. There could be a few different causes. But considering, I don't know if you heard that, but it was making some sounds along with that setup tone. That tells me it's not a short on the amp. A short on the amp would usually have no bass output at all. But that fast ticking to me sounds like the filters went bad and the subwoofer is totally roasted. So that's where my money's at on this one. We've got a roasted subwoofer. We've got, of course, that went bad from the DC filters going bad. We might even have a blown resistor on the amp as well, but shouldn't be too catastrophic in here. Shuffle Hands is back. Welcome back. Can you ship 1 million HomePods in the same? I mean, if you can find a box for it. If you can find a million HomePods. Oh yeah. That woofer's cooked. I can see it from here. I can almost smell it from here. Oh, that poor iPhone, Stefan. Hold up. Apple. No way. That's totally missing. Here is the subwoofer screws, and they come with a gasket, or not a gasket. They come with a what's it called? They come with this piece of rubber, okay? And clearly, this one from the factory never got it. Out of all the things I've seen them do or not do in these HomePods, this is a first. That's okay. We can fix it. It's not going to have anything to do with their issues. And obviously it worked fine up to this point. Ooh, that's stinky. Cool. Well, we can put that one down in the books as a new thing that we've seen. Missing bolster for the subwoofer screw. Well, okay, let's get the rest of this apart. And now I'm skeptical of this thing having anything else missing. right. Let's replace these filters. These are what went bad and roasted that subwoofer. And then we'll see if it needs a new Schottky diode for no power issues. And then we'll put it back together with a new subwoofer and a subwoofer gasket. Two to 9 p.m. for school on the weekend, Stefan? They really hate you guys. They, like, seriously just do not want their future generations to succeed, do they? Alright. The pine sill is starting to annoy me now. It is starting to fail me. And we do need a new Schottky diode. For 8K, of course, these will fail and cause no power. So we'll replace that before it happens. Oh, no. No, I am mistaken. For some reason, so it's Thursday, obviously, for me here. But for some reason, I thought it was Friday. And that would have meant that it would have been Saturday tomorrow for Stefan. No, I'm mentally already, it's Friday. Oh, Kurt. Welcome, welcome. In classic Kurt style, you've caught the end of our repair stream. We won't have time to get to Nick's here. My camera's about to overheat. I'm about to overheat. And it's just gonna get worse because I had to close my door because that kid is throwing the biggest tantrum that a 2-year-old could throw. So it's just gonna get hotter in here. I'd open the window if it was cooler outside. Here's a not so stinky subwoofer that we can use for him. No, the weather's doing all sorts of stuff here. It's like raining, and then 5 minutes later it's... Hold on. I think I know why this one had a question mark on it. There it is. Alright, that might not look pretty, but it is surely going to last longer than any subwoofer that we would put in there without doing that. Sometimes the glue holding this dust cap down breaks down and it will no longer seal. We had a second gen in recently that actually had the same issue. We just glued the speaker back together. No, Mr. Shufflehands, we are dang near neighbors. I think I mentioned it before, but I have, you said that you lived in Idaho quite a few streams ago, and I mentioned that I have family over in Idaho. They live in Rathdrum. Nope, we're not doing the last one today. We're saving that one for tomorrow, for sure. I haven't let Nick know yet, and it would be rude of us to start his without telling him first, right? Oh, even if we fixed Nick, the queue wouldn't be cleared in my heart because I know that there's still more waiting. You can't play with me, Stefan. You can't fool me. Also, the camera's gonna die any second here. It's blinking. It said turn me off or I'll do it for you. So we'll give this its chance. There we go. That sounds excellent, fantastic, wonderful, gorgeous, better than new. Folks, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Goodbye.